Wagwan sports fans, welcome back to this or that Sports TV, the place you guys come to get the best, most interesting and everything sports topics, discussions and debates on the internet. Before getting to today's video, don't forget to like this one, leave a comment and subscribe to this or that Sports TV. But one more thing for me, let's share the video to at least 10 people, get to 6 subscribers, because if each and every one of you guys can manage to do that, do you know how many subscribers that will get us by the end of the day? Yes people, you read correctly. We're reacting to Steve McLaren's post-match interview or press conference that he did after the Panama game, which is the last one he did for the 2025 World Cup. Reacting to it, I heard some clips and I never show him at all. So this is actually the first time I watched the entire thing. And then I got some reaction. Some of the things I respond to, something I stop the video at some point and react. So let me know in the comment section what you think. Ask the questions that you guys want to ask. I'll answer in the comment section and tell me if the points with me I make or where it make sense. Or if for me think it might make sense. You see it. But anyways, let's go. Let's share the screen and get
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the post-match press conference between Panama and Jamaica in the 2025 CONCACAF Gold Cup. We're joined with the head coach of the Jamaica senior men's national team, Coach Steve McLaren.
Coach, what are kind of the key factors that you could take away from these three matches that we can utilize going forward?
Yeah, this has been, despite the results and everything, this has been just what we needed to see. It's a wake-up call. People who think they're comfortable in this squad, we've all had a wake-up call of what we can do and what we can't do. And it's been, I said at the beginning of the month when we started on the 24th.
First of all, man, me hate that. Me hate him just say, this is exactly what we needed. No, this is not exactly what we needed, coach. What we needed was a good Gold Cup to be prepared for the World Cup qualifiers. That's what Jamaica needed. Not an embarrassing performance in the Gold Cup and which leave people out call for your head for you lose a job. That's not what we needed at all, coach. And you mentioned say some players feel comfortable in the squad and blah 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 blah. We know what we can do and now we know what we can't do. Again, I said this in my last video, but I could tell the team was just unprepared, and this come from the coach. This come top down. The coach was unprepared. The coach never set the foundation, and now you're mad because the players basically have much energy. I don't think the coach as strict as he's supposed to be. I don't think this coach hold these players accountable, and I don't think at the moment he might getting points across to them in terms of tactics. I don't think he's getting his point across to them well enough. So I disagree with the coach right there. This is not what we needed. We never need to get no wake-up call. In fact, why do we need a wake-up call? These players should know what the task at hand is. Them should have known say we need a good performance in the Gold Cup. Them should have known say the World Cup qualifiers that come up soon, we need to fine-tune with style of play. We need to fine-tune everything. Them supposed to know say when them put on the Jamaican shirt, supposed to have heart and fight. That's a minimum requirement. So this being a wake-up call, I can't agree with the coach, but hey, more power to you.
The UK in London, and I said what we're going to do is we're going to learn so much about the players, so much about the character, so much about the commitment that is required. What to do well, one, in this tournament, and two, which we're aiming for, is qualify for the World Cup. We've got 6 of the biggest games of our lives ahead of us, and this has been there's failures, but you always learn lessons from it. I've learned so many in the 4 weeks that we've had with the squad.
Well, that I understand. Learning about the players. Obviously, this is first camp with the team. This extended camp, rather. And I understand. Yeah, you don't know the commitment what the players have. You don't know who just come for a vacation. A lot of these players treat the national team like a vacation. Them come out when them come a party. Them come out when them come they're out a road and whatever. They don't treat it like they're at work. And I understand having time off, but also the way you do with your time off also give people some insight into how serious they take a job. You see, man, I think yes, he have a valid point right to say in that he learned a lot about these players. A lot of these players, one, are not as committed as they're supposed to be. Yeah, them committed, but they might not be as committed as they're supposed to be. And two, some of them just not have the heart and fight that is required to represent Jamaica. Some of them not have the heart and fight that is required to play in CONCACAF. CONCACAF is one of the hardest football confederations. It is. And so it take a little finesse and if you're not fight, Virginia, we see what happened to America right now. If you're not fight, you will not be able to play with some of these teams, especially these Central American teams. You will not be able to play with them. And so quality alone now get across the line. So I'm glad him said that, in that he got to learn a lot about his players. You can tell from how him attack right now that he's very upset. And you're supposed to be very upset. So we can't fight him for that.
I think in the Unity, we played against excellent teams and did well. We're structured, we're disciplined, we did our jobs. We fought like Trojans. We had a wake-up call again against the BVI. Responded well against Guatemala at home in what was probably a great performance.
Why we need so much wake-up call? Can him just say, yo, we have a wake-up call against the BVI, and then he must say the Gold Cup yesterday was a wake-up call. Why we asleep so much?
But we've had no consistency, and that will not get us to the World Cup. Consistency is key. Know what you're going to get, and we've not had that. We've not had that game to game. We've not had that in periods of the game. And you can talk about systems, and it's 4-3-3, it's 5-3-2, it's 3-4-3. Football is not about systems, it's about individuals, it's about character, attitude, working hard, being disciplined, knowing your job, doing your job. And in these 3 games, it's been a wake-up call for every one of us. And I know, in the end, it hurts now, and it's disappointing now. We've let a lot of people down in Jamaica, who've great supporters. We've let them down, but this is a lesson which we probably needed. And we've talked about World Cup qualification.
Again, coach, you should need a lesson, but I understand what he's saying. We should need the lesson. I'm glad them understand saying that a lot of people don't. But it is not good enough, coach. It is not good enough. And people, I'm no expert, you know. Obviously, you know me just there talking football a little bit and blah blah blah. I love the sport. I love my Reggae Boyz. But you tell me if this makes sense, because while I go him say inconsistency and blah 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 blah, football is not about systems, it's about individuals. At the first never hear a coach say that by the way, but I always hear the coach say it's not about the individual, it's about the team. It's about the collective, it's about the system that we play. Who fits well into the system. And the first ever hear a coach say the opposite. In that, oh, it's not about the system that we play. Coach, it is about the system that you play and how the players that you have fit into the system that you play. Madness, coach. But anyways, tell me if this makes sense, people. Him say, yo, he's mad at the inconsistencies. Coach, you shouldn't be mad at the inconsistencies. Expect the inconsistencies. I expected this Jamaican team to be inconsistent in the Gold Cup. I expected it because Mr. say I come with a new system where Jamaica never play it, and some of these players have never played it in their professional career, so it's going to be inconsistent. Why did you expect it to be any other way? And then when you say it become inconsistent, you change your system. Not good enough, coach. This coach is supposed to have more experience than that in the people. Tell me if this makes sense. The man say, football is not about the system, it's about the individual. And then the man say, he might get mad at the inconsistencies when he not play a 10 game with the country yet. Expect inconsistencies, but ride it out. And after a while, it's a click. You don't expect it to just click same time. But anyways, I could continue.
And then they've got to commit. And when they join, they've got to do it again. We've seen the good side, we've seen the bad side. I don't like the bad side. I don't like it, can't tolerate it. We're not going to the World Cup with that. We're not doing well in this tournament because of that. We had spells today, we didn't defend. And defending is not about systems, it's about collective. Collective, it's about discipline. It's about knowing your set plays. It's about knowing I'm near the penalty spot, so I don't do that. It's making mistakes like that that's going to cost us, and it has done.
Football is about system. I don't know. People might show me off with saying that football is not about system. He's showing me all the way off. Because I understand the individual assignments, right? The wing back, when the winger is, you're up against the winger, that's your individual, stay focused, watch it, make sure you make the right decision. I understand that. Corner get tech, make sure say on a lock in, make sure say everybody have a man, make sure say when the ball come, on a talk, on a communicate, keeper talk, blah blah blah. I understand the individual part of it, the individual aspect. But the way the team set up defensively is important. Yes, it's about the collective, but it's also about the system, the way you ask them to set up. Or you ask them when the other team have the ball, what are the wingers supposed to do? Are we staying high? When the other team have the ball, are we asking our forward to drop deep and then ask our two wingers to press? Are we asking our two wingers to come more narrow inside? What are we asking them to do? What is the defensive system? What is the defensive setup? How you set up the team? How do you set up the midfield in front of the defensive line to protect them? How? Are you asking your wingers to come and double up and the other team's wingers with your left back or your right back? That's a part of the defensive system, coach. So you can't say defending is not about system. It is about system. As much as it is about the collective, as much as it is about the individual assignments, as much as it is about focus and effort. It is. People, so far, as I said, this is the first time I watch a press conference about. So far, I don't like it. I think his answers are awful. I think he might make some points in that it's good to tell the team, say, yo, nobody's spot is guaranteed, blah 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 blah. But no way you're gonna make him out say football is not about us having a system. Football is about having a system. Teams that do have a system, and you know what the truth? People, that video probably are longer than I expect it to be. I suspected it. I hear somebody say the other day that Jamaica is playing individual football, but I see 2 games where we try to play with a system. I love a system football. Yeah, individual football is nice when you have a player that is going to win games for you. That is nice. But what is the system that we're supposed to be playing? Our coach is rolling out, and people may learn this from Pep Guardiola. Me never meet him yet, boy. We learn it same. You get me? I say, Pep say, theme job as a coach, as a football coach, is to transition the team from defense to the other team's box. Once you get in the other team's third, Uno take over. It is now the players' ingenuity and creativity to create goals. But when they have the ball, that is also his job, allowing the team to set up in such a way that it makes the other team struggle to break us down. But more importantly, the system that he has that uses the players that is at his disposal to transition the ball from defense to attack is the most important part of coaching. That is what a coach does. Him not tell you what to do in the box. Him not instruct you, say, yo, when you get it in the box, make sure you cut it back every time. Or when you get it in the box, make sure you whip it. No, wait, that is your creativity. That is what you see in front of you. You play it. But in terms of how you transition the ball, that is the system, coach. And me see you did a try it. You put your right back into the midfield to create overloads, to outnumber the other team midfielders. You ask your central midfielder to push further up the field and become a late runner into the box. You put the ball out wide. That's what I talk about. Our system help the ball to transition. But it is clear that we don't have a system and we're relying on individual players to win us the games. And we clearly don't have those individual players that are going to win us the game. So we need to use a system. What do you mean we don't have a system? Unacceptable, coach, man. Unacceptable. What do you mean with Jamaican football is not about system? Come on, man. Come on.
It might be a blessing in disguise, because we know, and the dressing room knows, we're not as good as we think we are. And we have to do certain things to win football matches. And talent is not enough. Talent is nothing without hard work.
I wouldn't know that already.
And that was the message.
Okay.
The message at all tournament. There was a message from Unity, which we had. A message from Guatemala in the second game.
Good message, but we should know it.
But the inconsistencies will not get us to the World Cup. So I'm down, disappointed. But you know what? I think in the long run, I'm experienced enough to know. Yeah. Once the pain goes and the regret goes, I know which way to go forward. And I know who to go forward with. And so
that's all like a trade, people. That's all like him not happy with some players. And man, they're on the chopping block right now. Hey, man, you see that little smirk the way him say, yo, him know who to go forward with. Hey.
At the present moment, nobody's guaranteed. And they have to show from now until September.
Some people guaranteed. We get it. We get where my choice about. Some people guaranteed. Come on. You have some man who just can't get left out of the squad. Yeah, we get it. We get it still.
What it is that's going to get us to the World Cup.
Yeah, so what are some key factors that happened in this game against Panama today?
Yeah, it's the same as you know, all games. It's mistakes, discipline, doing your job. One of the key areas, set plays. We knew the edge of the box was always going to be dangerous. We saw that against Guadeloupe. And, people are out of position. So we're already one down after 5 minutes. And then a soft penalty, which shouldn't be conceded. People are going nowhere. They're 2-0 down after 20 minutes. And despite us changing, it just woke us up. And
him right still in a people. Him right in that too many individual mistakes that took place in this Gold Cup. Players lack of discipline and whatever. I get that. But me not hear no accountability from this coach. Yes, the players were bad. This is probably the worst tournament in terms of player play that I've seen from the Reggae Boyz in a while. Probably ever. Total, this are probably the worst individual performances collectively from players. Probably the worst. Same other point. But me not hear no accountability. Me not hear him say, yo, I didn't set the team up well. Me not hear him say, yo, take some accountability, coach. What did you do? You tell me say your team lose 2 out of 3 games. You tell me say your team was favourite in a 2 games and managed to lose one and only win one love. And then lose one 4-1. And me not hear you take no accountability. Me not hear you say you are your fault. Alright, you might not say your fault, but me not hear you say nothing about how you set up the team. We conceded 5 goals in this Gold Cup. What about that, coach? We only scored 2 goals. What about that, coach? I want to hear some accountability. I think this is an awful press conference, by the way. I think he might talk out raw emotions, and me I sense a little bit of arrogance in that him take no accountability. People are like Steve McLaren. I think he's a good coach, but I think me not like the road him going right now.
But I do think the defining moment of this game was the penalty. It was too long. It looked absolutely blatant to me. And at 3-2, I'd like to see the reaction of our team. They still reacted after 3-1. We had chances, hit the post, great opportunities, one-on-one, clean through. And that's been our problem. We've not defended very well. We've conceded 6 goals. My priority is defending. We could not defend. We could not defend the long ball. We could not defend crosses. We could not defend it. We've conceded 6 goals in 3 games.
It is 6 goals. It is 6
can't
goals.
win anything with that.
It is 6 goals.
And we've had chances to score.
2-1.
Only 3.
I would score 3.
And the amount of chances we create. But the one thing I remember from this game is Thomas Christiansen saying that we have the better players, but he has the better team. And team will win, not individuals. That's why Panama have done so well, because that's what they do. And we need to follow suit, and we need to find players who will play for Jamaica, who will play for the team, and not as individuals.
Coach, I don't know if you have time to find players, I tell you the truth right now. You the man them on boat. I don't know if you have time to find the players. I get him as still. I think the players' approach is not great. I think the players need to fix up. I think the approach is not great. I think the commitment is not great. I think the discipline is not great. And so I understand why I'm upset, but I think looking for new players a couple months out from World Cup, the back in a World Cup qualifiers is the right move. I think getting the players that you have right now on board, which is your job, to be fair, coach. It is your job to make sure the players buy in. It's your job to make sure you create a system that fits your players, or fit the players that you have into your system, or pick a squad that fits into your system. But I don't think having an overall the squad or kicking out some of our most important players is the move. You see me? So make us see a move forward with that.
Coach Gario Graham, JFF Live. Obviously, I've been following the team for the past month and a half now, since we started right before Unity Cup. So for the next 2 months, what will be a part of your evaluation of talent, whether it's on the team currently and incoming, as you speak of, that will help shape your mindset for World Cup qualifiers?
Yeah, look, we had injuries. We lost Mason Holgate, who's a big character. We lost Damien Lowe, who, has got experience, is a big character. We lost, the biggest one was Isaac Hayden, and we lost our glue in the midfield. And, we'll hope that they get fit and stay fit and come back. I want to see a reaction from the players and their clubs and what they do. They've come off a hard season. And
what about you? What about the system? What about the way our style of play? What about Oh my god, this is so frustrating, people. People, me not just watch football to get the result, you know. I tell you the truth, you know. Obviously, I love to win, and I love when my teams win. But me like to know what my team them I do. And me not see him mention nothing about the way we are playing. Yeah, the commitment and the individual assignments being missed and the discipline and all that, I understand and it is right. But what about how you set up the team, boss man? What about that?
Yeah, physically, yeah, we didn't look right. But you play Bermuda. It's not going to be easy. So we need fight. We need characters. And if talent can fight and do the work and be disciplined, they will be in the team. So, yeah, that's my job now for the next 2 months, is to get around, look at some. We're also talking to players, also about recruitment as well, which we've been working on fiercely. And, you've seen already some of the young talent that we've got in that's there for the future, but might be there for now as well.
Alright, I hate that, people. I hate that. All in all, I don't think it was a good press conference. I think the coach lacked accountability. I don't think he highlighted the real issues that we have. He mentioned one issue. And people, this is obviously from my perspective. And I did a video talking about what really went wrong. And I mentioned that the individual mistakes and a lot of players having bad tournaments individually was a big part of that. But also the coach just being confused about the system that he wants to play. Either that is the case or the players are not buying into the system that he wants to play. But clearly from this press conference, you can tell that the coach is not a big fan of playing a system. Clearly. And I don't like that. I don't like that. I think you must have a system. I think you must have a way you want to play. You must have a philosophy about football, and you must get your players to buy into that. So, all in all, coach, I think you could have done a better press conference. I think your answers could have been better. I think also the questions that were asked were just not good enough. But hey, it be what it be. Anyways, people, I mean that. Don't react to the video now. If you like the video, don't forget to like the video, leave a comment and subscribe to this side at Sports TV. But the one more thing for me, and that's to share the video to at least 10 people, get to 6 subscribers, because if each and every one of you guys can manage to do that, do you know how many subscribers that would get us by the end of the day? But for now, this is inside at Sports TV. I got the gun.